Christina Trauthwein. I'm the editor-in-chief of Hotel Business, and I am here right now with John Hardy, and he is the CEO of the John Hardy Group. So you're also the founder of Radical Innovation,
right.
And I find that fascinating. I've been following this the last few years. Tell me about it, and what excites you about being involved with such creative and innovative people and projects?
Well, there's a couple different things. One is it started so that I didn't have to be on a panel at a conference, which is kind of ironic.
Listen,
it'd have been way
great.
easier to have been on the panel than doing this for 13 years. But the idea was I've worked with a lot of creative people in the industry, but also I think a lot of people are more creative who are not in the industry, that don't know all these things you're not supposed to do. You know, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I think that what I found in the industry is it becomes very mainstream, and you know there's a lot of restrictions because it's financial risk or operations doesn't like it, or there's some reason why someone's going to tell you no, that you can't do something.
Right.
But the people from the outside the industry, that Barry Sternlicht came from the outside the industry, and Schrager did, and Bill Kimpton did, who are three of the most creative people that changed the industry significantly. They didn't know they weren't supposed to do certain things. They just wanted to do it. So it takes somebody who's either doesn't care that the industry says you can't do it, or has an idea that's just different that they are willing to follow through on, that everybody else kind of figures out, wow, that's a good idea, we should do that too. And then everybody copies it.
That's
the typical hotel industry thing. So what I found, what I thought was interesting, would be an interesting idea. I'll create a panel where I will search the world. I didn't realize at the time what was going to happen. Let's just ask people out there, what ideas do they have for new things in hotels, and give them a forum. And I've got all my friends who are investors, Mike Midziggy and Jenna Thornton, Simon Turner, all these really smart people, Wing Chow, James Woods, and my partner Claude Amar in Paris. We put this jury together and we just solicited ideas. And we did it for the first time, and it was like, we were really surprised at what we got from all over the world.
Sure.
And we narrowed it down, and we had, I think, 2 professional contestants and then a student winner. And we brought them to Miami Beach at that time, and we had them present their idea in front of the jury, and the jury asked them questions, and the audience asked them questions, and then we had the audience vote on the winner. And what's happened is we've met the most amazing people from all over the world, and it's just grown into this global event. And so what I have gotten out of it is I've been inspired by the people that have submitted. And these are people from all over the world. They're students, they're architects, they're engineers, and they've spent a lot of time thinking about an idea. And then we give them the opportunity to develop it, and they probably spend, I'm going to guess, a lot of maybe $20,000 on their submission. And we may get 50 and we pick 2 or 3. So there's a lot of them that don't make it to the finish line, but still have good ideas. And I can remember, and a lot of this technology is coming in. So it's very experiential. You see trends. That's where I see the biggest. I don't see trends at a conference like this. I see trends
in a fresh, creative perspective.
Yeah, from people that are thinking differently and are not trapped in the hotel dogma.
Sure.
So last year's winner was an autonomous hotel suite. Now, the hotel suite picks you up at your house, takes you to your meeting, could take you to the airport, and you can rest. And,
that's awesome.
Now the technology exists to do that right now, and that winner is working with major auto manufacturing in Korea, and has been consulting in Germany. So what happens from this competition, the whole idea is give them the platform to pursue their ideas, and we help them do that. But other people pick up on it too and take them and their idea away onto some other adventure. So that's what's really cool about it. We're creating things that never existed before in hospitality, that who knows where they go.
And it could maybe exist. So aside from the one you just told me about, what is like one of the coolest things you've ever seen across this?
Well, there's quite a few actually. There was a group called Pixel in Linz, Austria, about 6 years ago, and they submitted when they have the cultural competition in Europe, once a year they pick a cultural capital. So they picked Linz, Austria, and this group of architects and photographers and artists got together, and they came up with the idea of you would have 8 different locations within this city, and one was a tugboat, one was an art gallery, one was a bakery, and they designed them to be really cool. They did all the design. You booked it over the internet, and somebody came up on a motorcycle and gave you your keys and coupons to go to the museums and discounts on public transportation, and some were in neighborhoods. So you were distributed throughout the city. It was Airbnb.
Yeah.
6 years before there was Airbnb.
Yeah.
So we tried to do it in New York and Paris. We ran into all these regulations. You can't do this. So we didn't follow through. When Airbnb did it, they didn't care,
Yeah.
right? So they got it started in a different way, but that was Airbnb long before we saw it. Then we used to get these submissions for space hotels. We used to laugh, I got a space hotel, that's never gonna happen, right? So then we have a winner from UNLV. He's actually, studying space architecture. And there are people, there's actually an ex-hotel guy in Las Vegas that's worked with NASA, and they are working on space hotels. Look at what Branson's doing.
I know,
So
right?
I mean, it's like these things
these
things are happening. And when we've learned now, when you look at these things that you might think is kind of a crazy idea, we learn maybe it's not so crazy. We shouldn't just like write it off because we think it's crazy.
Or maybe bits and pieces of
Maybe
it
it's
aren't
just
crazy.
a little
There's
early.
something,
Yes.
that's right.
So this is all about yes. Yes, you can do it. Yes, we believe in you. Yes, we want to see it happen. Yes, you're great. It's a great idea. It's the complete opposite of what we normally experience.
And I think that is great, and what a positive message, truly.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
So, thank you so much, John, for your
welcome.
time. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.